I mean, if I'm looking for information, I'll be looking for, I might use Google Scholar. Let's say I want to look at some type of research. I'll look at Google Scholar first, because often they cache the articles along with all of the citation data. So it will, essentially you can put in keywords of something that you're interested in looking up and research that you're interested in looking up, and it will tell you how many citations the article has received. So how many times other articles have cited that article, suggesting that maybe it's good research.
Yeah.
And it may come from various journals. So
that's actually really interesting. What are the methods of deciphering what good research is from your perspective?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, when I look for research, it has to be up to date. So by up to date being in the last 5 years. Sure. Now, there are exceptions to that. Sometimes there are really great articles that were written 10, 20, 30 years ago. So I wouldn't completely rule that out as a point of call to look for a piece of research. But often you want to try and find the most up-to-date research, because that will essentially have the arguments posed from two sides, or posed from one position essentially, that includes the background data of what's been done in that field up until then anyway. So often what should happen is in like the introduction or background in that article, they should cite previous research, what the previous conclusions were of that research, and then also what now they're going to bring to the table in terms of new findings and how that fits into either changing the old ideas or adding to those old ideas. If something's cited a lot, that gives me a bit of confidence that it has gained some credibility, and that it's broadly applicable. It may be applicable to a number of different fields, and it might be some sort of foundational idea that is applicable to a number of different fields, which is why it's being widely cited. The problem is you can have good research that isn't written well, and you can have really sort of not so great research which might be written really well, or cited widely because it's by a particular person that is well known. So you have to build knowledge on a particular subject and read widely, so that you can start to go, a number of people are saying the same thing. That sounds logical. And you kind of synthesize your knowledge on the subject to then start to be able to decipher what is good and what is not so good based on what most people are actually agreeing upon. And that's probably that's probably the angle at which I think about what is good research, what is presenting multiple lines of evidence to back up those theories, what is presenting multiple lines of evidence, plus what is there a wide acceptance or agreement on in the community of scientists.
There'll be a link somewhere to see the full interview. It may be currently floating near my head. Also, in podcast form, if you'd like to listen while cleaning the house or driving or whatever people do. You really should be paying attention though, seriously.